Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ryan from Funkadelic Astronaut. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about using timeboxing as a organizational tip to improve your workflow. So what timeboxing is the idea that you break down whatever you're working on. So in this case, we'll apply it to music production. You break down the steps that you need to complete to, say, finish a song into the various steps, and you assign a fixed amount of time that you're going to spend on each one of these steps. So for example, maybe the first step is you're going to pick out some samples, and the second step is that you're going to generate some ideas. Third step is going to be arranging those ideas. Fourth step, mixing. Fifth step, mastering. So the way you can apply timeboxing to a workflow like that is for each one of those steps, you say you're maybe only going to spend 2 hours on that step. And this is going to help you stay focused, which is going to ultimately translate into you finishing more music. So basic idea is that when you're in, say, the sample phase, you stay extremely focused and you spend exactly 2 hours picking out samples. You don't start generating ideas. You don't start messing around with plugins or whatever, unless your plugins are sample plugins. But you just spend a solid 2 hours picking out your samples. And when that 2 hours is up, you stop and you move on to the next phase. So in my example, the next phase would be doing your idea generation. So when you're in the idea generation phase, you spend a solid 2 hours or whatever you've allotted to this phase working on just generating ideas. You don't go back and pick out more samples. You don't move forward and start mixing. You just work on generating ideas. And I find that this is a very helpful technique to getting things done, because it kind of puts a time limit on everything and forces you. I mean, basically, it says that if you stick to that and you stick to my 2 hour per step example for 5 steps, you're going to finish a track every 10 hours. Like, there's just no way around it. You finish the track in 10 hours. So the way I implement timeboxing in my workflow is with sessions instead of hours. Probably like a lot of you guys, I work 9 to 5, 11 to 7 type job, and I get home late, and I don't necessarily have a full day to work on music, but I do have like 2 or 3 hours. I have some undetermined session time frame. So what I'll do is, if I'm starting a new track, one of the very first session, or maybe I'll allot 2 sessions to it, is just picking out sounds and doing sound design and sampling. So if I say that I'm only going to do 2 sessions of sampling and sound design, that's what it is. I spend 2 sessions on that. And usually for me, those sessions are like 2 to 3 hours. So that usually works out pretty well. And I like doing the session workflow a little more than the hours, because it allows me to reassess at the end of every session if I like really need to use all of the sessions that I allotted. Like maybe I'll say like, all right, for each one of these steps, I can do at maximum 3 sessions, but maybe after the second session, I'm like, I can move on. The key to that, though, is making sure that you never add more sessions. Like the whole point of timeboxing is that you give yourself a limited amount of time to work in, and that's what's going to allow you to finish stuff. If you can always move the window out, I guess the camera, move it out, then you never have any incentive to finish anything. You have unlimited amount of time. And the whole purpose of this is having a limited amount of time, because that will force you to finish things. So just to recap, timeboxing is the idea of organizing your process into blocks. It's assigning a fixed amount of time to those blocks, and you're moving on after the time is done. This is going to help you remain focused. It's going to force you to finish more work. And I hope you guys give it a try. So let me know what you think of this idea of timeboxing down in the comments. If you like these videos, please subscribe. And I hope you guys learned something, and I hope to see you next time.